I swear to you that I do actually make videos that aren't just predictions. I know that all I post, the last video I posted was predictions, but it is a Thursday on the Money Manziel MMA channel, which means we have predictions. Unfortunately, there wasn't a video yesterday, so it has to be back to back predictions on the channel. It is what it is. There will be a video tomorrow that is not predictions, I promise you. Either way, let's get into it, man. Listen, UFC Noche, the third edition now. We got Diego Lopes and Gene Silva as the main event. It's a great main event. We talked about this on Tuesday. My take's not going to change, man. I do believe that Gene Silva's better. I think he's the most talented fighting nerd out of all of them, skill for skill. Great takedown defense. Striking is elite. His power is great. He's got good kicks, knees, elbows, punching power. I think he's solid everywhere, man. And Diego Lopes, bro. Listen, I don't know if people want to admit this. Diego Lopes did look chinny against Volk. Like, he got clipped a couple times, rocked bad. Pretty sure he got dropped. I'm not completely sure. I need to rewatch that fight. But I do believe that Diego Lopez's chin is going to hurt him here. I think he cuts a lot of weight to 145. I think it is going to backfire. He did have some dog in him, but I felt like he slowed a little in moments where he could have taken over at 314. So I'm going to go Gene Silva here. He has a lot of autism. The kid, I mean, listen, the kid cries before like every single one of his fights. I think it's like kind of, I mean, it's weird, but it's cool at the same time. So, it all works itself out in the end. I think Gene Silva finishes him. I think he gets him early. I think round one or two he puts him out. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I do not see a world where Diego Lopes finishes Gene Silva. We have not seen the cardio, and I felt like he did slow down against Bryce Mitchell a little bit. But that'll be interesting if it gets out of round two. But I mean, listen, man, off of what we've seen, it's really hard not to take Gene Silva. So we'll go with him here. Co-main event: Rob Font and David Martinez. Obviously, it was supposed to be Rob Font and Raul Rosas Jr. That is not the case, so we are getting Rob Font and David Martinez. Honestly, a pretty fun fight. Probably more fun stylistically than the Rosas fight. Martinez comes to scrap. He's going to hit you with big punches. Rob Font's got a great jab, a lot of volume. He out volumes basically everybody he fights, except for like Corey Sandhagen, who takes him down for 5 rounds straight. Um, I do believe that Rob Font's going to win. Listen, I can't quit Rob Font. Like, I think his style is so funny where like, people claim he's super durable, but he does get knocked down in every fight. Like, it's not like Rob Font goes through fights. Oh my God, what a crazy punch he just ate. Bro, like, he goes down, he gets wobbled all the time. He just doesn't go out cold. He's got like a Frankie Edgar type of chin. I wonder if it's going to hold up now at 38 versus a puncher like David Martinez. But I think the most likely scenario is Rob Font gets like nuked in the first round. Like, fucking big right hand, big left hand behind it, puts down Font, hurt bad, ground and pound, able to clinch up and survive the round. And then like Martinez is gassed as a result. And Font pulls off like a majority decision where like two judges give it a 10-9 instead of a 10-8. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. I'm just, listen, don't call me a prophet, but like that shit, I think there's a real chance that happens. I think you're getting a crafty vet performance like you've never seen. Lucas Tracy will be screaming, jumping up and down, probably. I do think that is a real possibility that Rob Font goes out there and he seriously makes it happen. Um, Now, would I bet on it? Probably not. I probably would not bet on Rob Font in 2025. But listen, man, the title run is here. The title run is now. And we're here to witness it. We're living in Rob Font's world, ladies and gentlemen. Feature fight: Jared Gordon and Rafa Garcia. I'm not going to spend much time on this. I think the odds should be way further apart. I think Jared Gordon is a legitimate 55er, like a guy that you watch and you're like, wow, like this guy's got power, skill, he's solid everywhere, good striking. A little chinny, but I don't worry about that with Rafa Garcia. He's just trying to take you down. Um, Jared Gordon is going to finish Rafa Garcia, in my opinion, early. I think he gets him out of there in the first 3 minutes. Do not be surprised if there's a Jared Gordon round one KO. People forget, man. Listen. Nobody got robbed like Paddy Pimblett. People forget, dude. Jared Gordon rightfully wins a fight versus Paddy Pimblett. Arguably won all 3 rounds. And then after he is robbed, Dana White goes on the press conference. He's asked, "Hey Dana, how'd you feel about that scorecard? That seemed kind of crazy, Yeah, what's the question? Yeah, I didn't like Jared Gordon's strategy. No, you gotta fight all 3 rounds. Dog, he probably won the third round. What do you mean you didn't like Jared Gordon's strategy, bro? Shut the fuck up, bro. That shit was so annoying when Paddy Pimblett won that fight and you had like Dave Portnoy and them like jumping around in the crowd with the wigs on. That shit was so listen, man, I'm not going to get sidetracked here. Jared Gordon does look like a mean math teacher. Like if you do like the fucking Pythagorean theorem wrong, like Jared Gordon's gonna fucking slime you out. Like he's gonna hit you with a big left hook and he's putting you down out cold. Don't forget sin, cos, and tan. You got to remember what the fucking tangent line is of this dude. He's coming to knock you out. Shout out Jared Gordon. He's gonna win by KO. Kelvin Gastelum and Dustin Stoltzfus. Now, I will admit, if this is your first time seeing the channel, that on Tuesday I picked Dustin Stoltzfus to win. Now that's kind of a joke. He could actually do it. I'm going to pick Kelvin Gastelum. Man, dude, it's just like picking Kelvin Gastelum is so tough because he has like a really good 1-2 and nothing else. Like Kelvin Gastelum does nothing else well in a fight other than throw a fast 1-2 and like be able to take punches. Um, you know, it's the year 2025, bro. Ankalaev is champ. McGregor's not even fighting again. Garbrandt sucks, and Kelvin Gastelum's fat. It's a tough year to be an MMA fan in 2025. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, dude, I think Kelvin's gonna win, but at the same time, like Stoltzfus could. If Dustin Stoltzfus submits Kelvin Gastelum, who challenged for an interim title against Israel Adesanya, like went life and death with him, and he loses to Dustin Stoltzfus, we gotta have serious conversations about where the sport is at in 2025, almost 2026. So we'll have to see about that. I'm gonna pick KG for now. If he comes in and misses weight at 185, then we are all jumping Kelvin Gastelum. It is what it is. He literally looks like the Alex Jones fucking picture, bro. Like he ain't do nothing but move back. Like that's the shit Kelvin Gastelum looks like. That was him in like 2012. He still looks the same. He actually looks fatter. There's literally zero muscle gain on him. He's just got a kind of a longer like whisper trail, and or happy trail. Why did I say whisper trail? Happy trail. His arms are maybe slightly bigger, but that could just be a photo thing. Um, and his traps look smaller, bro. I don't know what the hell Calvin Gastelum has been doing for the last 10 years. It's not working. Get back in the gym, brother. You're looking like Alex Jones. Anyways, Alexander Hernandez and Diego Ferreira. I really like Alexander Hernandez, man. I love watching Alexander Hernandez fight. I hate that I'm an Alexander Hernandez fan because he lets me down constantly. I've had high hopes for him for so long. He is on a 3-fight winning streak. It is incredibly fraudulent. I think a lot of people are going to come in here picking Hernandez because of the winning streak. They see that he's won his last 3, that he's legitimately skilled and on a run. What they don't tell you is that he lost to Austin Hubbard, in my opinion. He robbed Kurt Hollabaugh. And then KOing Chase Hooper is cool. It was an early stoppage, but Hooper had nothing for him on the feet. So it's tricky, man. I as a fan, I want to pick Hernandez, but I'm going to go Diego Ferreira here. I think you're going to get a fight like a typical Hernandez fight, where that first round he's going to look like the best fighter on the planet, like Ilia Topuria x Islam Makhachev type of fighting, bro. Like great, solid chain wrestling, big, powerful striking, clean footwork. And then the second round starts and he'll look like Herbert Burns, bro. Herbert Burns is the worst fighter I've ever seen in the UFC. I'm not kidding. We're not even talking about Herbert Burns in this video because he's not in the UFC anymore, but I like bringing him up whenever I get a chance because the kid's so awful. But yeah, I think Diego Ferreira like crafty vets his way to like a split decision here. Like I think that Hernandez gets the first round, then fades, dude. It is what he does. You can't fool me when it comes to beating Austin Hubbard and Kurt Hollabaugh. Chase Hooper was cool, but that's very circumstantial. It was a big right hand. I think Hooper was still there. Very tricky stuff. I hope Hernandez wins. I think Diego Ferreira sneaks it out. So I'm familiar with his game already. Santiago Luna and Quang Lee. Definitely did not have a questionable graphic for Quang Lee in this fight last time. I'm just going to be honest with you guys, man. I still have not done the research on Santiago Luna. I haven't watched any of his fights. I'm not a fucking expert in the sport, so I'll watch his stuff eventually. Maybe I'll make like a fucking TikTok about it or something. But for now, I'm gonna pick Quang Lee solely off the fact that, dude, like I don't trust the Mexican regional scene for building you up. Like I don't know what Santiago Luna's on. Please let me know down below if he's had big fights before this, like he's been in LFA or some shit. But bro, like I'm not. It's like the Brazilian regional scene. It's very hit or miss. You don't know if a guy's a prospect or if they're just propping him up record wise. I hope that Santiago Luna's legit, but Quinn Lee's pretty good, man. He's got solid grappling, solid striking, powerful, great body lot or body triangle that he's able to put in, and he gets a lot of guys in that body triangle position. I think that he wins this fight. I know nothing about Santiago Luna. Maybe the moment's too big for him on the Noche card. I think the Mexicans could get swept here, but we'll see what happens. Jose Medina and Dusko Todorovic. Guys, this is the most shameful prediction that I've ever had to make in my entire life. In my time of living, I have never had so much shame in predicting a fight. We are looking at two guys who are a combined 0-6 in their last 6 fights, and they are fighting each other. This is literally just to see who gets cut from the UFC. Todorovic sucks. Medina sucks. Todorovic is gonna win, but this is genuinely gonna look like fucking the video on the bottom right, bro. Like I'm so annoyed that the UFC has gotten to the point where this is how we're matching it up. At least give both of them to like a prospect that we can get like a highlight reel knockout on this card. Why are they fighting each other? Just cut them both, bro. Like, yeah, it's probably gonna be a finish. These guys are finishers. I don't even know if Medina is a finisher actually, but I mean, bro, like maybe Todorovic wins. Like he sucks though, bro. Like I don't know. He went to a decision with Zachary Reese. All that did was lower Zachary Reese's stock by going to a decision with him. It is what it is. I don't want to spend time on this fight. Like it's so shit, man. Like it's terrible. I hope for all of our sakes that it's a quick finish and we can keep moving up the card. Claudio Puelles. Oh my God, this is even worse. Claudio Puelles and Joaquim Silva. Claudio Puelles has fought one time since 2022. He has fought one time since UFC 281. Joaquim Silva is the guy that rocked Arman Sarukian in their fight, which is a fascinating, like a trivia question. He's definitely going to be in trivia questions if Arman Sarukian ever becomes champ. Who's the guy that gave Arman the hardest fight? Probably was Joaquim Silva. And I think he got finished that fight actually, which is crazy to rock him and then get finished like fucking 3 minutes later. But it's one of those things where I really believe that Claudio Puelles sucks. Like I just think that Claudio Puelles is bad at fighting. He's kind of the BJJ nerd, like sits on the back, he'll butt scoot to you. I don't respect that type of style. I don't think anyone should. It is what it is, dude. I keep saying that, but like this card is so uninspiring after a certain point. Like Joaquim Silva's built tough as fuck, but he fights like an idiot, bro. So 36 years old. Hopefully he wins and probably gets knocked out by a can after this. Puelles doesn't have any power. I think if he wins, it's catching Joaquim Silva in like a fluke guillotine or triangle. I think Silva KOs him. We'll see what happens. I'd have to watch some film on it to see, but yeah, I do like Joaquim Silva here as an underdog. I think he's a really solid underdog here, actually. So we'll go with him for the sake of it. And by the way, bro, like he dead us like almost crystal balled that shit, bro. Like this dude got Arman Sarukian as like a plus 1 million underdog. He's like, bro, like I'm going to win this fight. Unfortunately, he didn't. So kind of a tough foreshadowing moment for him. But shout out to Joaquim Silva. We're riding with him this week. He did lose to Drakkar Close in his last fight. Tatiana Suarez and Amanda Lemos. Listen, man, we are all tuned in for this. We all love women's MMA. We all watch all these fights. We definitely do not turn off the TV or the fucking Stream East when Tatiana Suarez and Amanda Lemos fight. Listen, this isn't even hard to predict for me, dude. Tatiana Suarez is winning. Listen, I do believe that she's legit. People were talking about her like she was the greatest fucking marauding woman of all time. Like, no one's gonna beat this girl. Her striking is terrible. Had nothing on the feet for Zhang Wei Li across 25 minutes. She gassed after the first round. Zhang Wei Li was taking her down and tripping her, and Suarez had to have weighed 20 pounds more than her. Zhang Wei Li is a tiny little Chinese girl. It sucks for Suarez. I do think that Lemos is terrible. I can't get the image of being standing arm triangled by Jessica Andrade out of my mind. I think Suarez submits her here. We'll see what happens, but I would like that to be the reality. I think that Suarez winning would be better for the division anyways, to get her some wins, and then if Jean Lee beats Shevchenko, then we can kind of get her in like a some sort of strawweight vacant title bout. I don't know who the top contenders are at strawweight. I'd have to look back at the rankings, but yeah, I think that would be a cool thing. So let's get Suarez a win here, boys. Jesus Aguilar and Luis Garul, we are at the bottom of the barrel here, dog. Jesus Aguilar, um, most people know him for KOing Shannon Ross. I believe he got us. No, he lost his last fight. Who did he submit? He submitted somebody at 125. I don't know who. He's got a bunch of submissions on his record though. Luis Garul is coming off a KO loss to O'Day Osborne, which is tough, and that is actually the reason I'm going to be picking Jesus Aguilar as an underdog. I did need to pick a for real underdog, so I'm just going to pick Aguilar. I will say that the Shannon Ross KO was tough. It was his only ever KO. Imagine that was the first KO you got. You'd be fucking stoked. You'd be geeked. Um, I'm not going to bet on someone who gets finished by O'Day Osborne. Steve Ursig, we are all looking at you because you're on fucking fraud watch. But when it comes down to it, bro, like you cannot get knocked down and KO'd by O'Day Osborne. He's terrible, bro. Lazy boy Rodriguez beat him. We're gonna go with Zeus Aguilar. I bet he submits this dude somehow. That's kind of my method, bro. We'll pick him, bro. He'll be like the one Mexican that wins on this card, probably. Is what it is. Zachary Reese and Rodriguez Dumas. This is literally this is not racist. I want to be very clear. If you walk into your local jail right now, these are the two people you would see. Tell me right now, if you were like in like the drunk tank, like you got a DUI, like you're waiting in the morning for your fucking mom to come bail you out, and you're sitting next to like two dudes in a cell. Zachary Reese and Rodriguez Dumas are the two stereotypical fellas that you would see in there. I will say, no way in hell Rodriguez Dumas wins. He posted on Twitter the other day that he has $15 in his bank account. Brother, $15. You've had like 4 UFC fights. You have $15. He was like, bro, like this is the cost of like being an adult. No, it's not, bro. You've been arrested 14 times. This shit isn't the cost of being an adult. So, we are adults here, bro. Like we do not have those costs. That's your choice. But yeah, I don't think he cares about his career anymore. Maybe it's like a crazy motivating factor. Maybe he's gonna be the most locked in of all time. But going life and death with a guy who was 10-9 going into your fight is not a good look. Rodriguez Dumas looked like he didn't even want to fight Mikhail Oluwachechuk. I think he loses here, and Zachary Reese keeps on moving. That's my opinion. Alessandro Costa and Alden Correa. I've never heard of this guy in my life. Listen, man, I don't know anything about these. I mean, I know Alessandro Costa. I'm gonna pick him, but I'm just not. I mean, I'm not gonna watch this fight. Like, I'm gonna pick Alessandro Costa. He's better. He's more skilled everywhere, striking and grappling. I don't know anything about his opponent though. So tell me down below if you think that Alden Corey is gonna win. Tell me why. I literally know nothing about him. I've seen Alessandro Costa fight. I figure if he's fighting a guy that I believe is debuting, that he's probably gonna win. So we'll pick the kid here. Montserrat Rendon versus Alice Pereira. I don't think a lot of people know that Alice Pereira is not Eileen Pereira, who is Alex Pereira's sister. This is just a random ass girl. 5'10", though, is pretty interesting. I'm kind of a fan of that. I think we continue the tradition of Mexicans losing on this card. Montserrat Rendon has 0 finishes. How do you get into the sport of MMA and you have 0 career finishes? That's tough, bro. That's real tough. I'm pretty sure fucking bro, like Sam Hughes has finishes. Tracy Cortez even has a couple. Like Carla Esparza was finishing people back in the day. How are we at a point where you do not have finishes, bro? We need this girl to be good so we can actually get bantamweights. A 19-year-old bantamweight would be clutch for the women's division. We need someone. They've literally run out of people to sign at 135. They know there are no female fighters, so they're literally dipping into like college sophomores. Like they're like, yo, like we're going into a random dorm room and we're just picking somebody to fucking fight. That's kind of what Alice Pereira looks like. I've never seen her fight. Hopefully she's legit. And we'll pick her here. Final fight of the evening again, bro. Like I think this is actually the tough finale for welterweight. So at least that's something. I might watch that. But listen, man, I'm gonna go with the man bun. He looks crafty. I support a man bun. That's a great base for MMA. I'm hoping he's got a little bit of tism to him. I hope he's a little tismed up. I think that would be big for the brand if he was a man who had that. I think that's huge. I'm just literally just talking out of my ass. I know nothing about him. I did not watch Tough. Listen, bro, like I shouldn't be going through a whole card with the final 3 fights as someone who watches every UFC event. If I have the final 3 fights where I'm like, I do not know anything about these guys, that seems like a problem. I watched the Contender series, bro. Like, come on, like I don't know, man. This shit sucks, but it is what it is. Hopefully, Dan Leo Donchenko, I don't know how you say his name, wins. Shout out to him, good man, bun. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the video today. It was a pleasure. I swear I don't make only predictions. There's a video coming out tomorrow. I'm going to be making the rest of the UFC 322 main card. I'm adding two fights that I really think are going to be big for the MSG card, to cap out that card with the two title fights and Edwards and Prates. And so hopefully you guys can stay tuned in for that. If you enjoyed this video, let me know down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. My TikTok is at Money Manziel MMA. Give it a follow. I think the clips are pretty funny on there, to be honest. So I will see you all in the next one, which will be tomorrow, I swear. Peace out.